So before I hop in, I want to share my stats because I'm not too far away from my peak rating. I'm currently 2667.87. Peak rating is 2689. And I am on a 27 game win streak. Pretty far away from my best win streak. This happened about 4 years ago. So let's hop into the tournament. Joining a little bit late, but not too late. Yeah, still more than 2 hours to go.
Maybe some destructive chess later? Smile.
Maybe. Maybe some spell chess later. I played spell chess for the first time yesterday, and then I ended up playing like a bunch of games off stream too, trying to learn the strategy. I feel like it might be my new obsession for a few days. The new duck chess. Do I berserk back? This is supposed to be instructive rapid, but I guess we'll have an instructive blitz game. Let's play Sicilian. I'll play my more serious openings. White's playing an Alapin. So this is my usual go-to line. Bishop g4 I think is the most common move, but I like to play e6. Usually later fianchetto the bishop. And this is still a main line. Knight b5 or bishop e3 are the moves. And yeah, now white is threatening to take, so it's best for black to take first. Expecting knight b5. Queen d8. All still prep, and now knight d5. And I had this position over the board in the Reykjavik Open earlier this year. I think it was my round 3 game? It was one of the rounds that like pretty early in the tournament. I was like really jet lagged. I was so tired during the game. But it was such a nice game from the black side. I'm pretty sure in that game my opponent played like bishop d2, and somehow I got some early attack, like maybe this move. Yeah, I'm pretty sure I can play this move. I'm also pretty sure we're following the Reykjavik Open game. Maybe after this game I can check the recap video. Because in that game my opponent played queen b3, I'm pretty sure. And then we got some line, bishop c5, take, take. It's been a few months, though, since I last looked at this exact variation. I'm pretty sure the best move was to sack the b-pawn, like allow queen b2 and go for some gambit. Because now white is pretty much obligated to take. And I'm very happy to take back, unisolate my pawns, and then open the A file for the rook. I'm pretty sure we're still following the game from Iceland. Okay, this pawn's attacked. I could consider taking, give white the IQP, but I'd rather not concede the bishop pair. I want to go for e5 with tempo. Yeah, welcome to everyone. If you're just joining, this is the first game of the stream. It's double berserk. So it's a 5-minute game rather than a 10-minute game. I'm pretty sure I can win a pawn. Like this pawn is now overworked. And if I take it...
In Rosen face.
Oh yes, my face. Yeah, because if takes, takes. If the knight moves, I have knight c2 with a fork. And I might be winning more than a pawn because if takes, takes, a rook has to move and then I take on a2. I mean, there is bishop c4 to start. I don't think white can really do much with this discovered attack. Wherever the bishop moves, I at the very least have this. Bishop moves here, I have checkmate. A funny mating idea. Okay, so we do see bishop c4. I could keep the rook. Not sure if I want to keep the rook in white's territory. I could trade, actually. Like rook a1. Thanks for the raid. I'll check who that is in just a moment. Trying to figure out what to do with my rook. Rook a1. There's rook a4. I think I'll play rook a1. Up 2 pawns, why not simplify? Thank you to JJ Bruh. Appreciate the raid. Welcome in. Good timing. I just started the stream. Trying to win the first game of the stream. E5 looks nice. I think I'll go for a setup with like f6, king e7, get to the a file. It's hard for white to get to the a file because my bishop's always controlling a1. I don't really mind the trade of bishops. Okay, so let's play rook a8. Yeah, if takes... I could take with bishop or pawn. Another raid. MRF chess. The one and only Mohammed Farouja. Welcome. That's 2 raids back to back. Did some event just end? Or just coincidental timing? I think I'll take with a pawn. So I really like the bishop here, and I like the possibility of the f-file. And bishop g5, king d6. The king is pretty safe here. So originally I was thinking of playing rook a1, just trading rooks, but the prospect of rook f8 and rook f2, there might be some like brutal mating ideas if the king walks up to d3. So yeah, white resigns. Yeah, not a fun position to play for white. So before I rejoin the tournament, I do want to check my memory. Oh man, I might have to scroll down a lot. Let's see. Is there an easier way to navigate?
Oh yes, my sub. Hi Eric. Long time no see.
Oh, good to see you. Trispus. Okay, I'm scrolling through my YouTube channel, admiring all these thumbnails. So this was from Reykjavik, but that was kind of a delayed video. Here we go. Okay. Yeah, it's the videos where, or the thumbnails where I was wearing this Icelandic sweater. I'm pretty sure the game was No Stress Chess. Let's see. Welcome to the round 3 recap. Here we go. From the Reykjavik Open. It's been a very long day of chess. Yeah, I was tired. The first game I played today started at 9 a.m. It was 5 hours. See the previous recap video if you want to see all my thoughts about that game. Okay, so anyway, I'm skipping through this video. Last year I made the mistake because we're going to check the line. Queen b6, I was calculating a funny mating idea. If white plays c4 here, attempting to remove the knight. Oh! Let me show this. Or let me just have myself show it. I would play bishop c5 and say, "Oh no, my knight! Someone call an ambulance." But not for me, because bishop a6. Bishop a6 would be checkmate. Okay, so if we go, yeah, computer slightly prefers white, but after queen b6, it's tricky to play. The bishop d3 is like a very hard move to find. And then bishop c1 looks passive. Well, bishop b3 most played. And queen b3 ended up being a little bit inaccurate. So, yeah, so I got this position. Pawns reunited. And yeah, from here, it's a more positional queenless middle game. It's not the same sort of tactical slugfest that we saw in my previous game, but I was happy to just get a more quiet game where there's less fireworks. And on a note of not, and I felt sitting on my right was Dina Balankaya. Yeah, I explained how I was yawning, and there were multiple cameras from Dina's and Simon's stream. I just want to see what move was played. So bishop e2 was played. So it was nice to have same position from an over the board game. Okay. Was that Grand Mistress's sweater? Yeah, that was a sweater that a rune gave me the previous year in Reykjavik, and I brought it back and I wore it. It was a really nice, like hand knit Icelandic sweater. So anyway, back to tournament. Here we go. First game got the berserking points. Welcome back to Choco. Thank you earlier to Triswis. Oh, JJ Bruh says just ended a big risk game. Yeah, sometime this month I want to try learning and playing Risk. Yeah, maybe I'll have Jonathan coach me. Have some Risk collab. Okay, so if my opponent doesn't berserk, then I don't berserk. We're gonna try and keep this instructive, and I'll play e4. Hey, we have a Vienna. I hope Jane Gold is still watching. So there's a couple ways to play the Vienna, depending on what black does. G5, hahaha. I've never seen this move before, but this is like the anti-Vienna Gambit. What is this? G5. Maybe hoping I was pre-moving f4. So the first move that comes to mind is d4. Try and punish the fact that the diagonal is more
21
exploitable.
months is a long time.
Let's do this. Thank you, Gaston LV. Another idea I'll consider going forward, especially with inclusion of g5, is because a pawn can't move backwards to g6, these squares are more vulnerable than usual, which means the knight would be very happy on g3 and maybe eventually on one of these squares. And such a weird position to try and comprehend. Okay, I want to start punishing black. If I play knight f3, there could be, I mean, g4, knight takes e5. Yeah, actually knight f3 looks like the way to go. That's just a very useful move. Attacking, attacking, defending. There's two attackers now against g5. Yeah, I was just beginning to calculate this line. Because if I take on g5, I hit the queen. Wow, it's a third raid in the span of like about 5 minutes. Key Whiskey, thanks for the raid. Appreciate that. If you're just joining, this is the second game of the stream. It's already some probably like brand new opening position. Trying to figure out which pawn to take. I could also not take either pawn and play this move, knight d5. Treat it like a Belgrade. Yeah, might as well. Because I want to keep the option open of taking. And if I take with the bishop first, I'm not sure about f6, and then both minor pieces are hanging. So knight e7 would be a super interesting move. Actually, yeah, knight ge7, like challenging the knight. And then if we trade, then maybe g5 becomes defended. Oh, we'll see what black is up to. Yeah, welcome to all the people who came from Key Whiskey's channel. Shout out to Key Whiskey. I hope I spelled that correctly. Ooh, g4. Okay, I will say that if knight e7 there's mate, opponent maybe not stream sniping. I mean, I kind of want to play. I want to play bishop g5, but I think now I should just take the pawn. Because if takes, then the rook is in grave danger. My horsies are becoming more powerful. Yeah, so far this game, I've brought my knights into the center, and black spent a lot of time pushing the g-pawn. So things are going well. I played this move, knight f5. I like the idea of this. Yeah, the horsies are becoming more powerful. And this pawn is now just hanging. If I get a chance, I probably want to take it. I also have ideas of knight g7 check. Like, there might be some really strange mating ideas coming up. Welcome back to Fish Head Soup. Watching from the Caribbean. Nice. Okay, so black does defend. If I play this, not seeing a super clear follow-up. I have some idea to play b4 and then fianchetto. I mean, there's a lot of like really nice looking moves here. h3, bishop f4, b4, knight g7 still an idea, even f4. So if black is going to be playing d6 next, what's the approach? I mean, maybe I just develop like bishop f4, queen d2. Looks like the most sane thing to do. And then if d6, I mean, maybe what I can do is like queenside castle and then build up pressure along the d file. There's so many targets in the position between the knight, pawn, this pawn, the rook potentially, if my queen can ever come here. So c6 counterattacking the knight. The problem for black is when I take the knight, I hit the rook. And now life is very good.
Woo, it has been years now.
Ooh. Happy 2 years. Alexa, what's a good username? Welcome back, Django. Thank you, Django. I'll read your message in just a moment. I have to figure this out first. I think I'll deliver a fork. So black saved one rook, but probably not saving the other rook. Thank you, Reacher47, gifting to Key Whiskey. Okay. Yeah, that was probably maximum punishment for black playing g5 on move 2. I don't think there's any like high level opening where g5 is a playable move on move 2. I might be wrong about that. I once played Svidler. I played Svidler in like this banter match, and the game was it started like this, and he played g5. And I thought this was like deep preparation, but he just mouse lipped. He meant to play g6. I don't think g5 was a mouse slip in this game. It's such a funny idea, though, to prevent the Vienna Gambit. But the engine does not like it. Yeah, d4, f3. Oh, engine says bishop g5 was fine. So what happens after f6? Ah, I just sacked the bishop, and if takes, it's devastation for black. King e7, knight d5, king d6, knight b5. Oh, I wish I considered this. Mate in 10, starting with pawn g3. What a savage force mate. Not the most forcing looking move. Choco says, my friend plays it on move 2 is white. G4, D5. Oh, at first it said G4 again, but G5. Yeah, this is called the GG opening. It's good game before the game even really begins. Because GG. It's related to the egg opening, where you have to start with this, and then EG, and then G. So I'm going to be avoiding playing ridiculous openings like this, because this is instructive chess. So I'm happy to check off the Vienna. And now let me read the message from Jane Galt. Recently had a thought on why I can't break 1800 and was wondering your thoughts. Below 1800, game is decided by pieces. Above 1800, by pawns. Yeah, it's very hard to generalize. I'm trying to understand what that means. When you say a game is decided by pawns, sometimes it's about like understanding the structure and understanding like what types of pawn breaks to go for, or what to do, like what the plan should be in a given type of pawn structure. So yeah, the higher level, like the higher you go, the more like subtle ideas and strategy can get. But not sure if we can separate like piece play and pawn play based on rating, because the two are very much connected. Okay, so opponent's playing another like strange opening. Like so far, this is a matter of trying to punish weird openings. And what White's doing so far, it's kind of hard to punish. Sometimes the best approach is just to follow principles, like control the center, develop the knights and bishops, and then if I make my pieces happy, then later there will hopefully be some tactical opportunities. Like bishop d6, just reinforcing, preparing castling. Looks like opponent is playing some version of the hippo, but the queen's on e2. So let's
Did
castle.
you know you can subscribe for free with Amazon Prime?
Oh yeah, friendly reminder. Thank you, Pissed Numlock. For those that have Amazon Prime, it's a free way of supporting the channel if you like the content. So knight d2. I mean, rook e8 and queen e7, a5. There's this a5, a4 idea. I like queen e7. Just reinforcing the center, creating the battery. So if white ever castles, I can take on a3. And now, yeah, now I'm beginning to consider the pawn break. So I've focused on developing the pieces, but now it's an interesting question.
Thanks for the
about
reminder.
the pawn play. Oh, thank you, Ol. Okay, so if I play e4, first of all, I'm not concerned about take, because then I hit the rook. e4, take, take. Yeah, generally, like when the center opens up, it favors the side who has better placed pieces, which should be black, because white's a bit underdeveloped. So I think I'll be very happy if like e-file opens. In many lines, e3 pawn could be a target. I'm wondering if I can be very extreme and play d4 here. It's an aesthetic move, but it might be too much because pawn takes. Like, I don't want to relieve the tension. I think taking either pawn would be a mistake because it allows white to develop in some way. Yeah, I really want to play this move because if takes, I take with discover check. But the issue is this pawn takes. So if f takes, I would have knight g4. So maybe what I'll do is just play rook e8. And I'm realizing white might be threatening to take and then take. Okay, so I'm taking time here. There's this crazy move, bishop f4, which looks kind of hilarious, but if takes, I have e3 with a fork. I could also could maybe use that idea. Bishop e5. Taking a little bit too much time here. So here, take, 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 take. There, there, there. Okay, I'm gonna play rook e8. Looks fine. Might have to step away for just a moment. Hi there. You want to come say hi? Want to come say hi? You want some chicken? You want a piece of chicken? Come here. Say hi to the stream. I'm dog sitting my family's dog. So we might have a special guest. Come here. Okay.
Nice to catch a stream.
This is
Love
Roxie.
the YouTube content.
Roxie might be a little bit camera shy, but she likes chicken. Don't you, Roxie? Don't you? Yes, you do. All right, let's take a pawn. Is a pawn tasty as chicken? And now let's play this move. Okay, what to do? Any thoughts, Roxie? Any thoughts? Okay, I think Roxie might want to just chill for the time being. Let's attack this thing. Hey, thank you, Reacher47. 5 gifted subs. Appreciate that. Okay, we're gonna move the mic a little bit. Let's attack a knight. Do you want another piece of chicken? Or do we want that knight on c4? Being so tasty. Okay, I think Roxie wants to go down. Yeah, she was barking at something moments ago, but I had to calm her down a little bit. All right, let's take a knight. So what's happening here? I think this is all working out. Yeah, maybe we'll have future guest appearances. I should maybe consider doing what Agenmater does. Have like a little doggy bed behind me instead of a green screen. But yeah, she was appearing like very calm. One of her first times on stream. Yeah, she's my parents' dog, but I'm taking care of her for a few days. This move looks really nice. Attacking the queen. Not moving the bishop. So I think a position like this, it's about seizing the initiative. Like not giving time for white to really do anything productive. Ooh. Okay, I do lose a pawn, so I could take on c2. But I'm looking for better. Can I take on g2, sack the knight, and then queen h4? King f1, queen f2 mate. If king d2, rook d8. I mean, I think there's a lot of ways to win here. But knight takes g2 actually looks quite nice. Because queen h4, and then the rook comes in, and the queen, two bishops, and the rook. It's going to be a lot for white to handle. Oh, question about my peak rating. I think I'm exactly 20 points away. I'm pretty sure the peak was 2689. Okay, time's running a little bit low. So I play queen f2 first. There's knight blocks. Rook d8 first. Yeah, maybe I should have thought this through a little bit more closely. I could start with this. Queen g5. Because if king c3, I have this. And then king c4, and then bishop e6 checkmate. And if queen d3, I just win the queen. Actually, if queen d3, maybe I play bishop d4 first. Is more efficient. Okay, bishop e6 checkmate. Roxie was good luck that game. I did take a lot of time, like, where was it? After queen f2, trying to figure out what to do. But basically, when the position opened up a little bit, especially once I got knight g4, then it was very, very pleasant. This pawn was hard to defend. Okay, moving on. I don't think I've gained any rating yet. Let me check. Oh, maybe I have. I've gained 2 points. So playing Pavel. I'll play c5. Another Sicilian. We have f4. So this is similar to Grand Prix, but there's usually a reason white starts with knight c3. Is black can play d5. Now it looks like we're going to get some kind of version of the, maybe of the Caro-Kann. Or basically of a French structure, but my bishop will be happy. Usually in the French, the pawn's already on e6. So I'm debating between bishop g4 and bishop f5. If I play bishop f5 first, there's h3. And if I move back, there's g4. If I play bishop f5 first... Bishop f5 first, there's knight h4. I might be overthinking things. But I'm going to start with a move. It looks random at first, h5. But the idea is after bishop g4, white can expand with h3, g4. And now I just move back. And I'd like to make the argument that h3 is a little bit weakening for white. Do I have queen a5 check? Knight c3, d4. I think that wins a piece. Yeah, no mercy. My pawns look a little bit ugly, but yeah, it's a free knight basically. And now move back. So I've neglected developing on the king side, but for a pretty good reason. Yeah, let's play this move. Yeah, apologies for maybe not looking at chat for a little bit. I am just trying to stay somewhat focused on the games, but every now and again I'll glance over. Okay, how to develop. Rook d8. Rook d8 looks nice. Putting pressure on d4. If takes, I'm happy to develop the bishop. Okay. I actually have to be a little bit careful here. Maybe rook d8 wasn't the best move. Cowsling's actually a very strong response. Like, I want to play c4 and close down the center, but then just queen takes c4. So maybe I play queen b5, offer the queen trade. And then if white avoids the queen trade, then I play c4. Ideally, I want to like create some attack on the queen side. And maybe I have this idea, knight e7 to d5, and then just leave the tension. I kind of like that. So I temporarily lose a pawn, but after knight d5, I'll be hitting the queen, the bishop, and the c5 pawn. And it's such a nice piece to just prevent white from like doing anything. Some debate between LeChess and chess.com. Yeah, personally, I like both websites. I'm not exclusive to any one website. I'll probably end up streaming some spell chess later in the stream. It's a new variant released on chess.com. I played for my first time yesterday. I mean, both sites, I mean, the rules are the same. Like, both sites provide a place to play chess, but there's minor differences. Okay, opponent resigned pretty early, but yeah, again, not the greatest position for white. If I had to guess the eval, maybe, I mean, I'm up a knight and have initiative, maybe -5. Let's see. Almost 9. It takes some time for this number to reflect the lines. A stockfish so savage. Oh, Swifty Port says my first stream. Yeah, if you're viewing for the first time, welcome. I know a lot of people maybe find me on YouTube, and then some carry over to Twitch. So this is an instructive rapid stream so far. Playing the daily rapid arena. Played 4 games so far. I am trying to mix up the openings a little bit. Oh, there's another suggestion a few days ago from Old Walter to play the Czech Pirts. Which maybe, yeah, if I'm black, I can attempt to play. I think is a normal Pirts with c6 included. Question, do you get personal training? Yeah, we have the coach command. I do get a lot of requests for giving private lessons. And that used to be like my main job as a private chess coach. But these days I'm more focused on just online content. So if you're looking for a coach, you can browse the listings on LeChess or chess.com. Also, thank you, Harkier, gifting 5. Appreciate that. If you were gifted a sub, you can say thank you. If you're brand new to Twitch and you don't know what a subscriber is, it's basically a way of supporting the channel. Get some perks. Get ad reviewing and emotes. Hey, we have a Stafford Gambit. So, about a week ago, I posted a YouTube video that was titled, I killed the Stafford Gambit. And then the next video I posted was a video called The Stafford Gambit is Alive. So now it's time to kill the Stafford Gambit again. I'm going to play d3. And I'll try and be instructive here. We'll try and refute the Stafford as best as possible. So d3 is the recommended move. It does block in the bishop. There's other openings where sometimes this can be inaccurate because you want your bishop outside the pawn chain. But because we've already won a pawn, it's really just about consolidating and preventing the opponent from really
Stafford
getting
Gambit
any
time.
counterplay. Yeah, Stafford Gambit refutation time. So opponents taking their time. I mean, really the only move black should play here is bishop c5. Yeah, I'd be surprised if we see anything else. And yeah, now this is actually where a lot of people go wrong from the white side, because some people play this, allowing knight g4. H3 I've seen played, which allows some crazy bishop f2 and knight takes e4. So the best move is simply bishop e2, preventing knight g4, developing the bishop. Now, when I play this move, it looks like maybe I want a castle, but that's another common mistake, is usually white should not castle so early, especially when black plays h5, because the opponent wants to do this, and if I castle, then there's so many lines where black can win quickly. So here there's basically I would say two good moves, but one is much more recommended than the other. The two moves are h3 and c3. I'm going to go ahead and play c3, which is a move I recommend. If h3, there's queen d4, and it can get actually kind of tricky. And then white has to walk a very thin tightrope to be better, like castling queen d6, and I've enjoyed those lines for black. But the point of c3 is simply to expand with d4. And I want to hit the bishop, control the center, maybe eventually d4, e5. Now I'm trying to remember what my opponent played in that first video I posted of killing the Stafford. I think they played bishop to b6, which is one of the better moves. The idea is d4 is prevented because then knight takes e4 is playable. But usually when I'm black in this position, I like to play knight g4, allowing d4 and then queen h4. So we'll see what my opponent wants to do. Oh, my opponent's in the chat. Okay. My opponent said that they're turning off the stream. Yeah, sometimes when I'm explaining all these things, I wonder if the opponent is actually listening, but that's nice to know that the opponent presumably will not be stream sniping. And that's usually recommended. Like if you do happen to play me when I'm streaming, I recommend, yeah, play on your own, don't listen in, but then you can always watch afterwards. Yeah, I will say if you're playing the Stafford, or you're like you study the opening seriously, which I guess I don't recommend for too many players unless you're really passionate about it, which definitely fall into that category, then this is a position you should know what to do if you're a regular Stafford player. But my opponent's in a weird situation where they know that I know what the best line should be, but we're going into it anyway. Thank you, T2 Davis. Okay, so I hit the bishop. I remember a time where, like, this was basically the end of the Stafford theory. And then Jonathan Trantz came up with this, like, crazy queen h4 idea, and then it opened up a whole new world of possibilities. So queen f6 is not a move I've encountered. I'm actually trying to figure out the difference here. Because usually, yeah, so usually I have this position with the pawn already on g3. And usually I'm black too. But yeah, usually black plays queen h4, g3, and then queen f6. So I'm wondering if I play f3, how is it different? Because usually if the pawn's on g3 and white plays f3, then there's h4. But after f3, h4 doesn't really do anything. Let's go for it. I think I'll be winning a piece here. Now there is a really funny line, which I'm wondering if we might go into. And I'm going to trust that my opponent's not listening or watching. The funny line is queen h4, g3, queen h3. And then I don't take the knight. I don't take the bishop. I play a move to undevelop my only developed piece. Bishop f1. And for those that can imagine that position, it's really beautiful. So bishop will be trapping the queen. And it'll be move 11. I'll have all my pieces on the back rank. So I'm kind of hoping for that, but we don't quite have it. I'll share the position after the game. I think here I can happily take the knight. Now there's no queen h4. And now it's time to complete development. e5 is a playable move, but I'm really in no rush. If anything, I just want a queenside castle. Make sure my king is safe. I could play knight c4. Yeah, knight c4 looks nice. I was just creating ideas of taking the bishop. Do I take and give back the pawn cube? Haven't seen a pawn cube in a while. Or do I play queen a4 first and then take? Yeah, let's go for this. So I'm getting ready to take. And then if black takes and creates a pawn cube, I'll deliver checkmate. It'll be the worst pawn cube of all time. Except we're not getting that. Okay, so I think I'll still take the bishop. Because if pawn takes, it's still mate. If that pawn takes, I can take on a7. And I'm being a little bit greedy here. But I think it's with good intention. Because now I can take here. And black's not quite trapping the queen because I'll be able to take and win another pawn. Although I have to be careful because if I take the pawn with the bishop, then rook a8. And then I'm actually losing material, I think, because queen b6, black wins a piece. But I'm already up a piece, so I'd still be winning there. Maybe this is better. Queen a5. Yeah, just ensuring that my queen's not getting stuck. And then if b6, I play queen back to a7. If that, we're going to have some fun. We're going to have too much fun. Oh no, my Stafford Gambit. Oh no, your Stafford Gambit. Okay, I think I killed the Stafford again. What to do? I do want to share the funny line though. Good game to my opponent. Yeah, so if f3, and engine's happy for white. But if queen h4, g3, queen h3, bishop f1. It's just so weird to be in a winning position after 11 moves with all the pieces on the back rank. Hey, it's Emberg.
I remember that funny line.
Ah,
You just trust
Rossabos
the
fell
boss's
for
queen
this.
leading to a
Yeah,
connect-8 checkmate, then later he almost beat you in another game.
yeah.
Hope you had a good birthday.
Thank you, Emberg. Yeah, so I guess the other way to get that same idea is if queen h4, we can see I've had this before. Queen h4 is a move I would play as black. And then once my opponent played queen h3, and this was the famous Connect 8 game somewhere on YouTube. Same idea where the queen is trapped. Yeah, this was about 2 years ago. And if we look at the final position, spoiler alert, we got here b7 checkmate. I didn't lose a pawn that game. So anyway, if this goes on YouTube, I hope you learned something. I hope people are not too upset that the Stafford Gambit is kind of dead again. And I'll link the video of this game below if you want to check it out. But for now, back to tournament. Or actually, back to analysis. Maybe there's more questions. Choco asking knight f2. Oh, in this line. So here, 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 here. Maybe knight f2 is like the best try. Yeah, maybe like there's lines where black can save the queen, but then end up losing 2 pieces. So it's not great for black. And also just to show, yeah, so the reason for queen h4 is to provoke g3 so that after queen f6, f3, this pawn is a target. Even though the engine still prefers white, I mean, still like says white's winning, at least the position becomes messy. And this is a position I've had. Wait, I've never lost in this position. I have a hard time believing that. I guess at least on Lichess. Maybe I've lost in this on chess.com. I didn't realize I've never actually lost from a position that's +4 for white. I've played 25 games in this line. Wow. Maybe I'll have to stop playing it to keep my my undefeated record. But yeah, bishop f3. So I guess for those that want to explore Stafford theory, you can maybe use my opening tree as a way to figure out what's best. Bishop f3. I still have tricks against, though. Whoa, it's Sam with $100 hype chat. I think that's my previous opponent. Thanks so much. Really appreciate that. I hope you enjoyed the game. I hope there's some lessons to learn. Really appreciate the support. I can buy multiple cups of tea now. I have to put that towards the fund. Oh, Sam says, I watch you all the time, man. Thank you for being instructive. Well, that's really kind. All right, really appreciate it. Means a lot. Let's continue playing and trying to be instructive. Have still over an hour left. I think I've played 5 games so far. Playing Rainbulldozer. D4. Okay, let's try to go for a check Pierce. I almost always play d5, at least as of lately. We have knight f3. So I think the check Pierce is... Wait, but white has to have e4 included. At least we'll have some fresh opening. E3. So white's basically playing a collie. I'll go for G6. Is the T command working? T. There we go. Maybe it's restricted. Yeah, I do have a T partner. Welcome back, Elite Donut. H4. So I sometimes like to play a similar idea, but from a different setup, like with the bishop here and knight here. I think H4 in this position, I can maybe just ignore and play bishop G7. Like, I'm not afraid of H5. I can take with knight. And the sacks shouldn't be too strong for white. In the meantime, like knight D7. I'm holding off on castling. Because I might want to strike immediately with like C5 or E5. I think I'll go for C5. Sometimes what ends up happening is black will start with C5 and then later like take and then go for E5. But we'll continue. Now I'll castle. Still not too afraid. There is a question, why not bishop G4? And that's actually a hard question to answer. I think bishop G4 was like a very reasonable move. But this is just another approach for playing the position where I'm going for the pawn break early. King F1 looks like a mouse slip, but maybe it was intended to keep the rook on the H file. Now it's a question like E5. Yeah, let's go for E5. Actually, wait. I have to sneeze. I had to sneeze yesterday too, but then I couldn't sneeze. Now the feeling is just slowly fading. I want to play E5, but I'm not sure about knight C4 and D6 could be weak. So maybe I'll play A6 first, like A6 B5. It seems like a way more like solid approach. Although B5 sometimes runs into A4. What about now if I play E5? Still knight C4. Now, I like the position. I'm just trying to figure out how to best achieve my plan. I think I'll play a preparatory move, Queen C7. E5 may have been okay, but I didn't want to worry about these ideas. Oh, thank you so much. Munchie 400 for the 25 months. Okay, so white's trying to complete development. I could take and hit C3, but then pawn takes. So yeah, I'll go for E5. And yeah, I much prefer having the queen, like supporting E5, reinforcing D6. And this bishop could very soon play a role. Like some nice X-ray vision on the diagonal. Take with knight. Or take with pawn. Yeah, I'm going to take with pawn. Even though taking with knight would unleash the bishop, I like the prospect of E4. I also like opening the D file for the rook. But if I play E4, there's knight G5. There. Opponent wants to play C4 next. How about I just play B5? If C4, I can play B4. And I guess we're finally seeing why maybe one reason I chose not to play bishop G4 earlier. It's like long term, this Fianchetto square is very nice for the bishop, even though it took longer to get there. I mean, I think there'd be nothing wrong, like in principle, with having the bishop here. Sometimes it will lead to trades, like in the event of bishop e2, then we end up trading off. So I'll keep improving. Maybe white wants to play h5, maybe not. What to do here? I could play h5 myself. I mean, this move comes to mind now, especially with the knight on e1. The downside is it blocks my bishop, but it's also super restrictive to white's pieces. Like, the more I'm looking at it, the more I like this move. So I think it's more restrictive to white than it is restrictive to me. Like, the bishop's still useful in supporting the pawn. And yeah, now I can use this square. Like d3 could be a nice square to use. Not to mention, I might be threatening to play c4 here. Like, completely shutting down all of white's minor pieces. Yeah, so c4 probably makes a lot of sense to at least open the bishop. But I'll play b4. Like, the minor pieces, at least everything apart from this bishop, this knight, this bishop, this knight, they're all restricted. The pawn on c4 and the pawn on e4. So it's a very kind of positional strategic game so far. And g3. This bishop from far away is kind of, it's really wanting to explore the light squares. It's like the dog who's looking out the window, looking at all the squirrels running around. Wants to go out and chase them. So maybe I go for like this idea to let the bishop out. But the bishop is playing a role in defending the pawn. I play this. Because if takes, I'm going to hit the rook and queen. And this looks pretty nice. It feels wrong to offer the trade of knights, but if white even attempts to trade, I win material. I win a full rook. And another nice thing about this move is now my queen's no longer tied down to defending the knight. So there's a maneuver like queen c8 to f5 or queen d7. Let's start with queen c8. So I'm not blocking the rook. Oh, thank you, Rumplesnat. I'm glad I can help in some way. Appreciate it. Knight g2. Oh, knight g2 does block the pressure. But I'll still play queen f5. Unless there's something better. Maybe g5 first. I don't want to get too long in time. I can also take on b2. Which is maybe the safest option. How about I take on b2 and then bring my other knights to the promised land? So knight e5. I'm also realizing I have this move. Let's go for queen f5. Because if white trades, then the light squares become really, really weak. Yeah, I was threatening mates, but okay, I have g5 now. So knight is kind of pinned to the pawn. There is knight h3. But if knight h3, I take on e3 with a triple fork. or triple pork. So I think bishop g4 was the best move there. Opponent's fighting. Thank you, Shocking Turnip. I have to be careful. Let's play bishop c3. So this knight is pinned to the rook on d1. This knight's still attacked. I wonder if we'll see rook g1. Idea if I take, then my queen gets pinned. But this move makes sense. So white is maybe threatening this and this. I mean, f5. I kind of like f5. The defends, I mean, it gives my king some breathing room. It defends e4, it covers f6 again. So I'm less concerned about ever than f6. It does seem to trap in my queen, but it's hard for white to actually attack the queen. a3. Okay, so now I should focus on playing a bit more quickly. I mean, white's really tied down. Now I have two ideas. One is to take the pawn, the other is rook d8. This looks scary, but I think I just ignore it. Yeah, this knight is pretty benign. Okay, so I'm threatening the queen, but also, do I have force mate? Almost. Check, check. A bishop c8. And there's probably a lot of ways to get the job done here. But f4 is the main idea. Yeah, the knight actually doesn't really have anywhere safe to go. It does prevent queen h5, though. Okay, now I can take. Also take with the pawn. King there. Yeah, let's take with pawn. So this is the only legal move. And now bishop e5. Okay. A lot of pieces play their role there. Pawn, queen, two bishops. Okay. I'm feeling some allergies, but I've avoided sneezing so far. Yeah, this attack was nothing to sneeze at. And my bishop did finally play some role. By chasing the squirrels. Okay, that was a fun game. There's another kind of like offbeat opening that was hard to punish right away, but a lot of it was just finding good squares for the pieces and then eventually going for this central expansion. And then white was very restricted, like especially after e4. Okay. I gained a rating point. Moving up. Top 20. Usually I don't really try and win these tournaments. But maybe if I win a few more games, then I could make a run for it. What opening to play? E4? Oh, Fusion Injection says London. I haven't played the London in a while, actually. Been playing a little bit more E4 recently. I'll play a C3 Sicilian. Alapin. It's been somewhat of a new pet opening for me. We could transpose into a French. And here there's pawn takes and there's also e5. But I think I'll play e5 because my opponent played Sicilian. If they wanted to play a French, they would play e6. But I'm not sure if maybe they also know the French. But sometimes you can trick people into playing an opening they don't actually intend to play. Let's play bishop d3. And yeah, I think I'll just ignore the fact the pawn is attacked and castle. Because there's cases where I'll just gambit. Like if takes, I play something like rook e1. I could also take on f5. I'm going to give black the option of taking on c3, because I think there's a decent amount of compensation for white. It is maybe not the most common idea that you see in the French. Like usually white takes back and tries to reinforce d4. But okay, in this case, if I took back, then I think black would get away with taking. So it's a pawn sacrifice. If black doesn't take, then I might end up taking on f5 and then like, recapturing with knight, perhaps. So black does take on c3. Okay, so we do have some kind of gambit. And black is actually allowing me to win back the pawn right away if I want with this and then this. But do I want it? I'll concede the bishop pair, but maybe I get the bishop pair back. Yeah, I think I do want it. I have a strong pawn on e5. Black's a bit underdeveloped. And there's cases where I take on e7 and then really try and hammer down on the dark squares with the dark square bishop. But the question is, do I want to take right away? And it's check, so black can't trade queens. If queen takes and bishop g5, I think I do want to take right away. So I'm actually thinking, like, what does black want to do? Black wants to play this, get a rook to the, probably get the rooks to the open files. Rook d8, rook c8. So if I can slow black down, like start with bishop g5. If f6, I just take and the queen's attacked twice. So the queen has to find a square. If queen b4, not seeing anything like super obvious, but maybe just like queen c2, a3. Yeah, I think bishop g5, it's the type of move I can play without too much calculation. Oh, we do see queen b4. Can I sack the pawn? Like a3. I don't want to play recklessly here. So I still like the positional battle that could lie ahead. But I don't want to give black time to take or develop. I'm wondering if I can like somehow set up bishop f6 and queen g5. Maybe not too realistic. I'm realizing my knight is not super happy here. Like, I would love to be on d6. Knight d2. And rook e3 actually comes to mind. Rook e3, there. I think I'll start with rook e3. There's a few ideas. One is to play rook b3. If takes rook b3, I think traps a queen. Another idea is to rook lift to the king side. Like if I can somehow move my knight. Should also note my bishop's nicely preventing rook d8. And this is one of two open files. The c file being the other open file. I do have to watch out for like h6, g5 stuff. The bishop could get trapped. But if h6 now, at the very least I have rook b3. Okay, so I'm down about 2 minutes. But I like the position. Yeah, I was also calculating bishop e6, a3. I lose b2. I don't have rook b3, but I have rook b1. Okay, we do see h6. I really just want to take and then sack everything and try and checkmate. I think I'll start with rook b3. And now there's cases where the bishop will be tied down to b7. Do I have h3 now? Keep attacking the queen. I guess queen h5 is coming. Or that move. Oh, now the pawn's attacked. I guess I could play rook e3 back. Not sure if I'm accomplishing much, though. If I sack... What if I just play rook c1? Take, take. Probably no good. Rook e3 back. $92. Gotta move quicker. If I give up the pawn, like bishop e3, take, bishop d4. Let's try this. Maybe I can play a3, which I could have considered before too. So last few moves, my bishop's been attacked by the pawn, but I'm counterattacking the queen. And I didn't want to lose this pawn. So I'm looking at the line queen b4, a3. If takes, I trap the queen with rook b3. Queen moves back to either of these squares. I play b4. And now again, I could play rook b3. Maybe just bishop f4 now. Rook b3. And bishop e6 is coming. I could play bishop h4. I don't think I'm scared of g5. I'm going to take a small risk. Like maybe it's possible for black to get away with this, but I'm ready to sack if black tries. And I wanted to keep the bishop here to prevent rook d8. And if bishop e6, I think I'll just play b4. Wow, we do see g5. So I should probably take with knight. Oh, it's getting spicy. So I have this move. But I can also take first. Both moves look good. I'm going to just take first. I'm not immediately like attacking anything directly, but I have a very clear plan of delivering mate in a few moves. So black has to do something pretty urgent here. And these pieces aren't in the best shape to defend. Like if f6, maybe I throw in queen d5 first. Yeah, down almost 3 minutes. Bishop f6 now? I mean, as long as I'm mating, then even if I have like less than a minute, it should be okay. Just bishop f6. I don't see how black defends. Like this and this are now threats. Dog is whining again. Roxie, you want some chicken? You want some chicken? Here, have some chicken. Here, here. Rox. And people don't hear what I hear. You hear some sounds in the attic, Roxie? I'll be right back. Roxie. Here. Want some chicken? Okay. F4. F4, I can play queen h5. Yeah, Bach prevented rook g3, but this is now a pretty clear threat. Now I can take. Ooh. Bach's surviving. Okay, wait. I have to watch my time. Dog is calming down now. All right, let's play this and capture the pawn. Or actually, let's play this. I want to remove the knight and then deliver mate. Wait, so if rook g8, am I mating? Maybe I'm not quite mating. I could take the pawn though. Or I could play queen h4, knight h6 here, and then rook g6. Yeah, I'll take the pawn. Roxie. Okay. It's a dog streamer. Okay. Roxie. I had to lower the desk. Roxie, let's win this position. Let's go. I'll take a bishop. All right. Let's get our rook into play. So exciting, right? Right. And now, just a quiet move, g3. Okay, have to watch the time. We have 20 something seconds. But that should be enough time. Right, Roxie? Who's a good girl? You're a good girl. Uh-oh. King takes pawn. Forgot about that move. But it's okay. We'll take on f7. We'll win this rook. Roxie's not too interested. Let's play this move. You want another piece of chicken? These are her treats. Okay, opponent resigns. Didn't try to flag us. Good girl. Okay. Good girl, Roxie. You did so well. Good girl. This might be hard to play. I'm like sitting on the floor basically, but as long as you're comfortable. Roxie's maybe a little bit tired, a little bit bored. Thank you, Snyder's Chumley. I tried taking Roxie for a walk earlier, but it was really hot outside. She didn't really want to go too far.
Subbing for Roxie less than 3.
Do you want to play some more chess? Want to play some more chess? Back to tournament? think she's a little bit tired. Okay, we'll go back to tournament. Let me try and find a comfortable spot here. The mic okay. You just want more chicken, don't you? What's her elo? Roxie doesn't have a rating. At least yet. Okay, so we have 25 tournament points. 17th place. One more game. One more game. Just casually licking the mic stand. Doe! Opponent resigns. We're too strong. Everyone's afraid of us. What to do? Gained another rating point. That was tasty, right, Roxie? For a moment, I thought we lost by forfeit, but oh, we won. Opponent too afraid. Ah, what to do? Okay, back to tournament. 12th place. What are you looking at? What you looking at? Yeah, she's tired. Played with the squeaky toys earlier. All right, let's play a Sicilian.
Hi Roxie. Long
Oh, an
time no
actual
see.
goose says hi. What's up, actual goose? Roxy's a little bit camera shy. All right, let's play a Taimanov. Just facing away from the camera. Are you itchy? Roxy's a little bit itchy. All right, we're playing Taimanov Sicilian. Knight takes e6. Yeah, this is generally a pleasant line for black. Got the center pawns. c4. c4 is a playable move. I think we can castle. Leaving all the tension. White continues to leave the tension. Could play bishop b7 here. So Roxie is a mix of a bunch of different things. I think she's like 50% Chow, and then some like Schnauzer Terrier type dog. You're a good dog, right, Roxie? Okay, what to do? H6 comes to mind. D4 comes to mind, taking a pawn. White's playing this in a pretty interesting manner. I'm actually tempted to play D4. Because where does the knight move? Roxy's not really not really helping out that much. Oh, opponent berserked. Ah, so we have we have a bit of time odds. I think I'll go for d4 and then maybe some like knight e7, c5 eventually. Go for d4. Oh, she's just sitting in the chair. All right. I was gonna bring in another chair, but to do. Okay. It was a slightly slow start to the game. Got her to calm down though. She was, I mean, before joining the stream, she was whining a lot, so. Okay, knight a4. So we have c5, c5, e5, knight d7. I could play knight d7 right away. And now take. Okay, now she's barking at something. I will be right back. Actually, she's coming. She's coming back. Maybe. Here you go. Here you go. Come on. Come here. What? This might have to be my last game. I have to take her outside. Here you go. Some more. More of a treat. Okay. Maybe this move. Knight b6 takes. This essentially forces a knight trade. a4. I want to play f5, but en passant is a little bit too scary. So maybe g6. b3. Opponent's playing solidly. All right, let me try and focus here. Bishop c6. This could be a long grind. Like, we're both really solid now. Like, how to actually make any progress. King h8. Maybe g5 eventually, but probably not. Maybe I can create the queen bishop battery. Okay, let's go for this. So I basically lost the time advantage that my opponent gave me with berserking. If I played this or this, take. I don't think I like the looks of that. But what else to do? Maybe queen here. I'm just gonna hunker down. Go for this. I have some long-term dreams of exploiting g2. I'm probably very far away from that, though. Maybe some eventual idea of like, oh wow, really? So take. Doesn't seem to be great for me. Roxie. Roxie's whining again. There. Yeah, actually queen f6 is like a very strong idea. At least strong looking idea. So I think my plan is to like put a rook on e7. Oh, but then I wanted to take and play e5, but it doesn't quite work. If I take, I have to go for this. Yeah, it's really not comfortable. White's playing this well. Don't really see any active play for me. It's so uncomfortable. Okay, now I have this. Take, take. So if takes, we trail off everything. I have the idea of e5, e4. Is maybe my one hope. It's not good. I'm in big trouble here. I think I have to go for like b5. It was desperation though. And the hope is that somehow I win b3 and get the pawns marching. There. Okay, some c3 idea. It's getting messy now. Down about 90 seconds. Not good. Yeah, really not good. Okay, what to do? No stalemate trap. Opponent played good game. Uh, not meant to
In
be.
Rosen ducky clap.
Yeah, I think starting with Queen F6, it was very, very difficult for Black to hold on because White has all the active play. Burned a little bit too much time early on. Do I blame it on the dog? No. I had a good position actually. Like around here, knight b6, I guess, was a little bit too. It was like too urgent to simplify. I should have realized that my knight is better than this knight, even though I wanted to fix the structure. But what's the idea? Bishop c6, b3? So I guess, yeah, it felt weird, like giving up the bishop for the knight. It's not even something I considered. But maybe long term, because of the fixed structure, the knight is just a more useful piece than my fianchetto bishop, which is basically just a decoration in the game. So anyway, I think it's time to wrap things up. I am sorry for the sad ending to what was like a pretty good tournament overall. Still a lot of instructive games, including this one. If this goes on YouTube, like I might end up putting the whole tournament on YouTube. Thanks everyone for watching. Oh no, my rating. Yeah. A bit further away from the peak rating now, but still have a goal to achieve. Now it's time to get some comfort from the therapy dog. Or maybe I have to act as a therapy human. So anyway, thanks everyone for tuning in. Appreciate the support. Big thank you earlier to Sam for the $100 hype chat. Really, really appreciate it. And I will be back in the future